Okay, hello and welcome to the very first of our lessons that we're going to be doing with some problem solving in Minecraft. We're going to be learning about some computer programming and then just basically some problem solving skills. So this is the spawn point that you'll go into. I've got 4 stations here, and you'll see that 3 of them right now are closed. That's because this is going to be an assignment where you have to kind of accomplish each level, and so as you get farther along and accomplish things, then the more you'll be able to have open and unlocked. So the very first place that we're going to be going to here is the Redstone Challenge. Now, to be completely honest with you, Redstone is not one of the areas that I've really played around with a lot or have a whole lot of experience with, but it does offer some kind of really cool opportunities to kind of like make some things. So some of you that are like kind of an experienced Minecraft player probably will know how to do a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you right now, and it'll be pretty easy for you. But if you are kind of new, this little tutorial that I'm doing here will be pretty helpful for you. So to get started, all you're going to do is just kind of walk up these steps and step on this little pressure plate, and it will teleport you to the redstone area. You're going to see this big building right over here. Kind of a cool little setup here. Actually, somebody else created this map. They did a fantastic job with it. But all you need to do is come over here and hit this little button right here, and you will get all of your supplies. Now you'll notice that this sign here, I haven't changed this yet. This is done in Norwegian, as a matter of fact. So this map was created by somebody across the ocean in Norway, and so I had to do a little bit of translating on some of these signs and things. Hopefully I've got everything all figured out, but I did kind of want to leave that one there just to let you know that this was somebody who created this map from a different country, which is kind of cool. So again, anyways, you just click that little button there, and then you'll end up with most of this stuff that I have here in my hands. You'll get some pistons, you'll get some buttons, you'll get some iron doors, some redstone torches, a lever, some redstone lamps, redstone, of course, and that's about it. I've got some extra stuff here because you may need some of that when you get into some of your buildings. So I'm going to take you down the way here and show you the 3 examples of what you're going to do. Now, how like in depth you go with this is kind of up to you. So I kind of did some very just basic generic stuff, and I kind of have them all packed together. This is a very big desert, so spread out a little bit, find some space. Don't go too far though, because you don't need to go very far. You may need to come back and grab some more supplies. But if you do need any materials like sand or anything, well, I'll just come on up over here and dig it up. I'm going to get myself out of creative, so actually will kind of look like yours. So just come over here and dig up some sand if you need some sand, and there you go. So we're going to talk a little bit about what redstone is, how it works, and then how you are going to use this right now. So basically, I'm going to come over here to this open spot here. Redstone is kind of like electricity or electric wire. So as you put it down and as it's touching, you'll see that it kind of connects. And you can kind of go off in different directions if you want to. It kind of figures it out. If you come up on top of a block, it will kind of come up on the block as well. So you'll notice this redstone is kind of like laying electric wire down is kind of what it is. It gets power from different things. It gets power from redstone torches. You see when I put that redstone torch down next to an open redstone wire here, it lights up, which is kind of cool. So this actually gives this power. So if I have things connected to this, they'll do something. So that's kind of what we're going to be playing with. So we'll be working with some redstone to make things do something. So if I knock that little torch right off there, you'll see that those wires actually just shut off. Now I can get power other ways as well. I can get power from buttons. If I put a button here and I click this button, oops, it will turn it on. Now buttons will not stay on forever. They'll actually shut off. So if I click that button, you can see it stays for about a second or two and then it actually shuts off. So that's one way. I'm going to get rid of this button here and show you another way we can do it. Let me grab a lever. Levers, kind of like switches basically. If I click that, it's going to stay on. It's going to stay on the entire time. But what's nice about it, the button would shut off on its own. The redstone torch goes all the time. Well, the button I can turn off and I can turn on, which is very handy for things like doors or trap floor or something like that that I want to engage and then maybe also shut off. So that's kind of your basics about redstone. One thing to know about redstone is that it will not go forever. So basically you get about 14 blocks out and you kind of lose power. So if I kind of keep coming out here, pretty far here, I'm going to hit my switch and you'll see that it kind of gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and now pretty soon here at the end here we have no more power. So there's no more power here. We've ran out of juice. They only go so far. I can fix this though by using something called a redstone repeater. So if I get rid of that spot right there and I put a repeater on that, whoops, it looks like I got a little too far away. Let's come back here. I should be able to hit this. There it goes. I had it going backwards. If I put that repeater there, then it actually will repeat that signal out for me, so I can actually extend it. And so you can remember here, I did not have these lit up before. Now I do, and it is kind of important that you put it in the right direction, like I did not have. So put in the right direction, it does repeat that signal out there, so I can kind of extend that, and we'll have to do that on one of ours. So this is your goal, this is your challenge, I guess. We're going to create a basic, simple little redstone controlled, I don't know, door, pretty much. Now, this is kind of up to you. So if you have some cool ideas about how you can make the same basic thing work, then please, by all means, go for it. But I'm just going to show you kind of some of the basics. So we're going to do like a basic switch. We're going to do a repeated switch. And then I'm also going to show you what's called an inverted switch. And after we get all those things done, we'll see if we can't come up with something on your own. So here's the first one. I just did a basic, very, very basic switch to a door. So here I've got a door. It's an iron door. I can't open an iron door without some sort of thing to power it open. So I've got redstone running out here to a lever. If I click that lever, my door opens, and then I can go inside my house here. So again, you want to make a little bigger house, totally go for it. That's kind of up to you. So let's show you really quickly here how I made this. This is a very simple design here. You take the redstone, and basically what I did was I'm going to put myself back into creative so I can quickly just kind of pop this door off. There we go. Let me get my stuff here. There, Sarah. So we have the redstone running straight here to a block that goes straight into a block. I put a lever on it because I do want to control this, and if I had a button here, my door would shut too fast, and so I wouldn't have enough time. So I did use a lever, and that lever will power this up. What's nice is you just take your door and just kind of put it right there so it's touching. If it's on the block that's next to the redstone, it gets the power. So there we go. So that's your first challenge. Your first task is to create a redstone powered door, or if you want to do something else over here, just a straight switch with some distance away, that's completely fine. Now, those of you who are very good at redstone will probably notice one of my very easy mistakes here, and that is the fact that you can see my redstone still. That's kind of a no-no to have your redstone showing. But where we are working with a very basic level and entry-level stuff here, we're not going to be too picky about that. So if you see your redstone wires, it is okay in this situation here. But typically you want to have all that stuff kind of hidden so you can't see any of it. Just like in your house, you can't see any of the electrical wires. They're kind of all tucked behind walls. But for the sake of our assignment here, just with our introductory stuff, if you have those wires shown, that's completely fine. So there's my first task, a door. controlled by a lever. Pretty simple stuff. At any point in time, if you feel that you need to pause this and to not listen to the whole thing, please do. Please pause it after each one. So if you want to pause it right now, go fix this up, make your little lever controlled door. Please go ahead and do that and come on back whenever you're finished, and we'll just pick it up where you left off at. The next one I want to show you here is kind of a little trap floor. And again, this is kind of a very sloppy one because I still have holes in the ground, but it's just so you can kind of see where the redstone is at. And again, if I was doing this a little bit more professionally, I would make sure that my wires would all be hidden so that you could not see them. But I do want you to kind of see what's going on here. You can kind of peek down here. I've got a piston down here, and on top of that piston is a sand block. When I click my lever this time, what's going to happen is, boom, it's almost like a catapult. So if somebody's on the trap and that lever gets hit, they'll shoot up into the air. Of course, that really won't happen, but it's all just kind of in pretend. But you can see here what I did is I have the 4 pistons down here on the ground. I dug out a little space for it. I put the sand on top of the pistons. And I used regular pistons on this. Since this is sand, it will fall, so we didn't have to use a sticky. And then basically what I did is I ran redstone out and up, and I ran it all the way around, and I did each of these 4. And you'll see that I did a repeater here, because I have so much redstone coming out that I actually lost my signal for this very last piston. The thing that we're really focusing on here is, do you notice how all of these are kind of coming out from their own side? What I want to show you here is what happens. Oops, I kind of took out too much sand there. If you start putting redstone and running it right next to each other, you see what happens? I just lost that. It's going to connect it over here. So we don't want to do that. So you have to have redstone. You have to be very careful that the redstone, you can't run 2 lines parallel with each other. They have to kind of come out. So I had this one go out this way. I had this one go out this way. I had this square go out this way. And so you can see that's why I have all the extra redstone out there because of that. So the whole point of this little exercise here is to create something that's going to use a lot of wire, redstone, and with a repeater, and then kind of figuring out how it is that you can control multiple blocks that are close in proximity. So again, you can kind of see this, and I'm going to leave all of my projects that I'm building up. So if you want to kind of come around and take a look at how I built them, please do. Please try not to like break any of that stuff though, because we do want others to be able to see it as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of how we did that. So I kind of had to make a little jog with my redstone here because I started this this project over here and kind of got in the way. So like I said, this is very sloppy. If I was doing this a little bit better, I would make sure all of this stuff would be hidden, but I do want you to see that. So again, if I hit my lever, you can watch it. The blocks fall. If I click the lever, boom, they go up. Whoever's on top shoots up into the air, maybe lands on a cactus, I don't know. So that's the second project. Again, feel free if you want to pause it and go after this one, then go, please do that. This last one that we're going to do here, this one is the hidden doorway, which is kind of a cool one. So here we have our house right here, and you can see there is no door at all. But I've got a button right here. And if I hit that button, oh, look at that. My door pops open, and as I run through it, because I do have it as a button, my door will then shut again. And to do this one, I use what was called an inverted redstone circuit, and I had to use sticky blocks, or sticky pistons, I'm sorry. So I put a piston on its side. It is a sticky piston, and so if we come down here, you can see the difference. Here's a sticky piston and a regular piston. A sticky piston will do just kind of what you think it will. It will stick to the block that's placed on top of it. So if I put a block on top of it, it will actually kind of grab onto it so that it doesn't go away. Otherwise, if I didn't have a sticky piston here, what would happen is these blocks would just stay put. This piston arm would shoot back here, and nothing would really happen because my blocks would stay. Since this is a sticky block, it grabs this sand block and it pulls it back with it, which is what I want it to do. I want it to pull it back just like that, so that my doorway opens up very quickly. So let's take a look at how I did this one. Again, you cannot have redstone running parallel, so I had to run a wire up along the top of my wall here. So I ran one up on the top of my wall, down on the side, connected it with this one. That gave me power to both of my pistons. It runs down here, and then you'll notice I did something a little different here. I did not put a redstone right here. Instead, what I did is I put a block and I put a redstone torch facing the wire that I wanted powered, because I want this thing to be powered all the time, except for when the button's hit. When the button is hit, it actually shuts it off, which then sucks that piston back. So this is why we're calling this an inverted, because this power is already on. It stays on, and actually when I hit the button, I'm actually shutting it off. So it's kind of backwards. So again, I ran my wires, ran it to the redstone torch that's here on the side of the block. It's very important. Now I run redstone out here, and you'll see that this redstone is not powered. Power is running this way. Power is not running this way. But as soon as I turn on my switch, that will hit power all the way through here, which then shuts this off, which loses power here, which sucks this all back. So you can see this is kind of a little bit of thinking that we have to do on this one for sure. So my redstone, I jogged it around over to here, and I touched this block right there. So this block can be powered, and so I put a button next to it. The button next to it will power this block, which then turns on my redstone, shutting off that. So let's see if we can't get this all in one view here. So there we go. So you can watch. Torch shuts off, albeit for just a second. Shuts off, and then it turns right back on again after my button pops back out. So I'm going to change this with a lever just for now, because I want you to be able to see this for longer now, because it was kind of short. So again, I power this redstone. Redstone's powered. This shuts off. No power. My pistons get sucked back in. My doorway then, my hidden doorway, is now open, so I can walk on through. And you can see, since this is my block right here, I put my button right there. That button, again, will turn on this block. This will give this block power, which powers this. Same thing as this lever on this next one. So some kind of complicated stuff here. You got to really kind of think about this one. And this one can kind of give you the most fits because you have to run your wire around. Okay, well that's it there. I guess those are our 3 challenges I want you to do. Again, if you want to kind of build a bigger shelter or something that looks a little nicer, please do. I did this kind of hurried and quick just to show you guys fast what I wanted you to do. But I kind of want this. I want the basic redstone switch. I want the redstone switch powering multiple blocks, lots of wire, using a repeater. And then you can do the hidden door where we have what's called the inverted switch, where we have the wire that's hot, and then we then shut it off to then open this up. After you get those 3 projects finished, I want you to then do another one kind of on your own. Use some creativity, see what you can think of about some redstone things. Create something kind of cool, make it neat. And once those 4 things are done, then you are ready to go on to the next section, which is going to be using some turtles, some turtle-powered robots. Kind of like little mini computers that you can program and drive around, which is kind of cool stuff. So I guess with that, if you have any more questions, ask present Mr. Meyer, who happens to be probably walking around the room right now, helping maybe some other kids. And he will definitely help you out with your redstone challenge. So good luck, everyone, and have some fun.